Hey, welcome to FSBS. I am Risco.
And I am Ricardo.
Today is Wednesday, April 8th. Um, Coming to you from our studio because we are quarantined. We get out twice a day for walks.
Yeah.
I deliver for a huge corporation as an independent contractor, so I'm kind of an essential, I guess. Um, and that's been interesting.
Yes.
But I don't know. It seems like down here in Pierce County, where we are, a lot of people are out.
Yes.
A lot of people.
A lot. People. More people are out than before quarantine, which is kind of interesting and weird.
Yeah, and apparently there was a report card done for Snohomish and then King and then Pierce, and Pierce came in with the worst score at the time, which would have been like a C minus.
A C minus.
Yeah. King had an A minus or something, and then Snohomish had a B, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's getting really tricky just to do the simple, mundane things that you would do in everyday life, which is, hey, you need some milk, you run to the store and you go in and get it really quick. Now that doesn't happen anymore.
No, you have to go in a line. It takes about maybe half an hour now to get.
Yeah, it depends on how many people are in line, and it depends on how many people are in the store. And they only let you in per how many people they see coming out. So, I don't know. It's so weird. To me, that's not helping coronavirus by any means. And I mean, I'm personally of a mindset where I don't really think that there is a coronavirus. I'm not saying that people aren't getting sick from something. I think it would just be more of the ordinary cold or flu. But some videos I've watched recently, and I've actually shared with Ricardo here, is that viruses really are not alive, so to speak, and they're developed as a response to the body purging unwanted stuff in the body, and so so it's not transmittable. You can't transmit it from one person to the other, no matter what form. Whether it's through your eyes or through
your nose,
or even sexual contact or anything like that. So I don't know. This is a really bizarre. It's to me, it's way overboard on what we're doing for a virus that I think is being in a way, completely made up. The numbers are being made up. And there's always that straw man argument, which I'm not going to try to go with. But I don't know anybody personally. I don't know anybody personally, but that just because I don't know somebody personally of something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. However, it doesn't seem like there's really anybody I know that has said that they've contracted it. Now, I've read some acquaintances on Facebook, people that I've known throughout the years that are on my friends list on Facebook, and some of them said, "Oh, I have a friend that's blah blah blah." But first of all, there's the whole question of the testing. Is the testing accurate? And if they're tested and it says, yeah, they have it, how do you know that?
Do you know that?
Whose trust are you putting in? The test, the people running the test? You're going to put your trust in them? Even if they're just innocent people who are volunteering or working to do this, and they, maybe are brainwashed into thinking there truly is a virus, and that, that the test results are going to be legitimate. I mean, there's people in my family that would probably think that that's how it works, that you can put trust in the agency that is running the testing, but then also you can put trust in the test itself, which again is a man-made test. And as far as I'm concerned, even if this virus is real, it's a man-made virus, which again, I mean, I've seen a lot of videos saying that viruses don't exist. So to me, that something's going on here that is by design. It is done to impact every facet of life. Think about it. It's kept, like, you can't see your mom now. I mean, because you're here now.
Nope.
And, go ahead.
My whole school year has been canceled too.
There's that. Yeah, because we're in Washington State. And so
yes,
Governor Inslee said that this school year is done. and so they've got to complete the rest of their schooling online through an app or a program called Zoom.
Well, that's just one of the programs.
Well, I know, but it seems to be one of the major ones that they're using for face-to-face contact, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I've been reading some, and we've seen some videos where Zoom security on the app is really bad, especially when you go into outside the peer-to-peer, the one-to-one connection. So, like if you're talking to just one person, then that is a closed connection, and everything transmitted is encrypted. But the minute you open it up to a group video conference call, that's where apparently
you're compromised.
You become vulnerable and compromised. And then also, too, some guy put up a video that said that the backup farm servers for Zoom are located in China. So that means if their main server goes down, that it defaults to the backup server, which is in China. So, yeah, I don't know. And now they're requiring students to, download this app to their computer so that they can get work done for school and get credit for it. Yet, at the same time, they're compromising the security of everybody's home computers even that much more than they already are. So, I don't know. It's nuts. And then on top of that, what? Yeah, you should be in school right now and learning, but you're not.
I'm not.
So how are they supposed to? What are they expect? In some of the stuff, we will not get into necessarily, but like some of the stuff that you've seen on Schoology,
yeah,
some of the questions that are asked of the teacher, as far as being part of the work.
As far as school goes, I'm not learning anything. I'm learning absolutely nothing.
No, except for some. We
Math
call it
and
some propaganda.
Propaganda, yeah.
Like he has to do an essay or something on, or at least give your opinion on what makes Women's Day great. And we're not against women, Ricardo and myself.
Yes.
But at the same time, why focus on a day for them? And then, as a young man growing up, he's forced to participate in an agenda or propaganda that he doesn't necessarily agree with. I don't agree with, and I know that there are plenty of other people that don't agree with it. So it's very liberal, heavy liberal propaganda in our public school system, and I wish I could afford to send Ricardo to a private school, but I just unfortunately can't. And so from what I understand, it doesn't happen as much or at all in the private sector. But some of the stuff that they're forcing down the kids' throats is completely, as far as I'm concerned, immoral. Has no business basically bullying kid mentally, or even bullying them in a way to say you have to read this material and then give an opinion on it. And if you don't give an opinion, if you give an opinion they don't agree with, you could fail it. Or, and then, I don't know, it's just a slippery slope that I don't agree with. And, now that he's here with me, I guess to some degree, besides whatever education you're gaining through the internet, he's getting through me, and we're trying to keep up on this literally fluid and ever-changing thing that is going on with this whole ordeal. And bottom line, I don't think it's the virus ultimately we need to be worried about. I think it's everything else we're seeing going on, which, believe it or not, I believe was all part of this exercise that was discussed back in October 18th of last year in New York, and it was called Google 201 event. And right now they're rolling out the exercise, and they're,
look it up.
Yeah, look
Google
it up.
201.
Yeah, and Bill and Melinda Gates were there. You got the Gates Foundation, which is huge into vaccines, and so now they're talking about they got this pandemic. So what's one way to cure it? Well, through mandatory vaccinations, which there's no way they could come up with a vaccine in time for this even if it was real virus, because vaccination testing is very stringent and takes time. And you're looking even at an expedited process, probably about a year and a half, 2 years before you get a vaccine that's going to be, you know, usable. But then again, I'm not a big vaccine person by any means. And his mother is not a big vaccination person either, but she recently had him vaccinated for some things, just your standard, like, what was it, the rubella, mumps,
Yeah,
stuff like that, you know. But even then, who knows what's in those cocktails? But now they're saying that we need to be vaccinated against a very specific virus, and that this vaccination is going to be coming from possibly the Gates Foundation. I don't know if you know anything. If you ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, look it up. Look up Georgia Guidestones. It's about some stones that were erected back in the late 80s, and talks about reducing the world's population to underneath 500 million people total. So anyway, on an entertainment note, what are we waiting on today?
We are waiting on a brand new Nintendo Switch.
No, not brand new.
Not brand new. Well, brand new to you.
Brand new to me, yes. But it's actually a refurbished Nintendo Switch, which I believe may have been the last one in the GameStop system that I purchased.
The very last one.
You got so with the Nintendo Switch, they have version 1, which they just call the Nintendo Switch, but now they have the Nintendo Switch, which they also refer to as
V2.
And so the one I'm getting is a refurbished V1, so the original, the OG Switch.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see what type of condition it's in when refurbished. From my understanding, refurbished means that it actually goes back to either Nintendo or an authorized Nintendo refurbisher. And they basically, when you refurbish something, you're taking it back to new status, even though it's used.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that. Reason why we purchased, Ricardo already has a Nintendo Switch that we bought right after it was released. And so one of the things that we can't do together on a single unit, on a single console, is play Fortnite
together.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I got this. And it's been almost a month now, right? Because it was right after you came here back on March 12th. It was shortly thereafter that we went and purchased that Nintendo Switch Lite from Best Buy. And within the first 14 days, the Switch Lite
ended up getting drift, which, if some of you know heavily about the Nintendo Switch, is that it has drift problems with the Joy-Cons.
And for whatever reason, some of the other controllers. You know, the only one that doesn't seem to be affected right now is the Pro Controller. But
not to be confused with any of the off-brands, we're talking about the $70 official Nintendo Pro Controller.
Right, that one's the only one that's not affected.
That's the only one that has not been affected.
But the Joy-Cons that come with it have
been affected.
Drift cases. In fact, there's YouTube videos out there that show you how to do a little DIY fix to keep the drift from happening. Apparently, you have to put some foam. You have to crack open the Joy-Con, put some foam in certain spots of the thing, and then close it back up. And I'm guessing maybe keeps the pressure from the case in. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't watched the video, but I do know that we have how many controllers that drift, and that's even with the.
We have 1, 2, and then if you count the Joy-Cons as individual, like
both Joy-Cons. So he's got a lime green set, or the neon green, and a gray set, and both of them drift.
Both sets drift. So that's technically 4 controllers.
Right, and then we have 2 Power A wired controllers that both have drift.
Yes.
And then we had this Nintendo Switch Lite, which had developed drift right away. So I'm hoping with the Switch Lite that we're getting today, my Switch Lite.
Switch Lite.
I mean Switch. My bad. Yeah, Switch. First generation Switch. That they send it with either refurbished Joy-Cons or new Joy-Cons that don't have the drift problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of, and you're thinking, why the heck would you buy a game system in the middle of something like this? Because again, we've had videos in the past where I talk about I have a decrease in income right now, but at the same time, with that decrease in income means a little bit more time here at the home. And, one of the ways that Ricardo and I like to spend time and pastime is playing video games. We're guys,
that and playing baseball.
I'm 48 years old, but so what? I grew up on Atari when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. So, I've been around gaming systems for a long time. And, I'm not the hardcore gamer to where, I've got a PC with a headset and, doing YouTube videos. But
we have a Macintosh.
yeah, but it's still, you're doing videos on it.
I'm doing videos on it. In fact, go check out Pixel Pig Gaming.
Yeah, that's his other channel, Pixel Pig Gaming. Pixel Pig Gaming.
Yes.
And it's got a piece of bacon for the avatar, fried bacon. So he's starting to. He actually created that channel a few years ago, but he's just now starting to get into some regularity of making content. So he's starting out just doing his thing, but he's going to evolve and grow, and I think his channel will get better and better as time goes on. I'm very biased with any kind of compliments I'm going to give to Ricardo because he's my son, but he is a very entertaining person. So go check out his channel, Pixel Pig Gaming. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on his material. We got a beautiful day today here in the Pacific Northwest, but at the same time, it's one of those things where I've got to go to work here pretty soon to do my delivery job.
In fact, let me check what time it is. It is
3:30.
3:30,
and my block starts at 5:45, so it means I got to leave here about 5:15. So I'm getting 1 block a day. I used to get 2 blocks a day, and then I applied for this small business loan thing, and it seems like it's not a scam, but there's a lot of loopholes, or there's a lot of
sketchy stuff going on.
Yeah, sketchy stuff going on with it within the Small Business Administration. So that's something I'm going to have to call on tomorrow. Unemployment, I'm told that independent contractors are allowed to claim unemployment even though we don't pay into it at this point because it's part of the EIDT, which is the Economic Injury Disaster, EIDR. Economic Injury Disaster Relief Fund that was passed through by Congress and the Senate. And so, these are some really interesting times. Obviously, unprecedented. I'm 49 years old. 49, God, I keep saying 48, 49.
49.
And in my 49 years, and even in, say, like my mother's 76 years, or whatever, there's the Great Depression, and that was the early 1900s, like, was it 1913 or something like that?
Yeah.
But that was back when the country was really just kind of starting to get a foothold. There weren't as many people here at the time. There was not an established anything here. So I can see that point in time in history of man, but now we're supposed to be at this point, you're talking almost 20 years later, 87 years later, we should have a better foundation with our citizens in this country. And, hopefully that's what keeps us from actually experiencing another Great Depression. But at this point, there's going to be a recession without a doubt. And unfortunately, I think it will lead to a depression. There's a guy that we watch his videos here on YouTube, and his name is Jason Maggard, and he's living down in Tennessee. He used to live out in the Pacific Northwest here.
Just like us.
And he moved about a year ago. He's in the financial sector and did most of finances his life, financial type jobs. And he purposely moved out of Washington State because he saw the writing on the wall of everything that's going on right now. And now he's documenting everything down there in Tennessee. And it's pretty daunting what he's showing. And so, I probably should be getting out and showing videos myself. But really, in a way, here in Pierce County, when I go out to do my delivery job and deliver packages to customers, it's kind of a mind screw in that it doesn't feel like things have changed because of the amount of people that are out and about. Like, you don't, if it was dead all the time and it was like me and maybe, a couple dozen other cars on the road, over a given 3 hour period, then that would make you realize, oh my God, it's weird. There's nobody else out, and I'm the only one out.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I mean, there's no bad traffic like there used to be before 3 weeks ago, before all this happened. But there's still tons of traffic on that. I mean, tons.
Yes, there is. Yes.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's just Pierce County residents don't care or what, but who knows? But anyway, we just wanted to give you an update as to what's going on. And some of our thoughts on things. And why don't you, if you want to share, leave a comment below. If you like it or you enjoy, what we're bringing to you, even if it's minimal right now. If anything, it's a validation that maybe what you're experiencing, you're not the only one. Subscribe to us, like our content, and share it with others. And if you have, suggestions for us to check out, just leave it in the comment below, and we'll try to get around and check it out. So anyway, we're going to end this with a quick prayer, something that Ricardo and I have been doing every day before we go to bed, and that is the Our Father. So join us in this quick prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
Amen.
God protect you all, and look for us on the next edition.
Signing out.